Hi, Tiffany.
Hi, Kat.
Can you explain what the background noise we may be hearing is currently?
Yeah, you might be hearing a cat chewing, chomping
Chow,
on
chow, chow,
food.
chow. Oh, I hope the cat jumps in the picture. I hope. Well, in any case, what if instead of mindlessly buying another new outfit, you could just rent it? What if you only kept your underwear or socks, and every week you got a whole new wardrobe delivered to your house, and someone else cleaned it and repaired it, and you didn't have to do laundry except for
Oh my
underwear and
God.
socks,
I didn't even think about the laundry part.
right? What if you could get designer jeans or jackets or purses or dresses delivered to your door for what it would cost to buy like 1/10 of one of them? And what if you could stop the fashion industry from making up 10% of global emissions every year from manufacturing new clothing by stopping their need to make that new clothing?
Oh man.
So these are the dreams of clothing rental companies like Rent the Runway. They sound great, right?
Yeah.
Do they hold up?
Hmm.
Let's dig in. Welcome to Greening Up My Act. Yeah. We were doing like some Beavis and Butthead. We got some cat party going on. If you're not watching on YouTube, you're missing out. Oh,
Yeah.
see, here's
Oh,
the cat.
there
Oh,
she is.
she's like, time to make biscuits on your neck. She's really cute.
This is Did I show you her yet?
Yeah.
Not Toad, but
Taco.
what's her name?
Taco. I think we might
What's
call
my
her
cat's
Toad,
name?
but you can hear her
It's
purring
only
like a
been 3 days.
lawnmower. Should be Toad and
Right?
Taco.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like,
I know.
I love it.
Yeah. It's only been 3 days, so
Yeah.
I'm still learning their names. It's hard to remember.
Do
especially
they know
the two of
yours
them.
yet? I'd like to know.
No, definitely.
Meow.
They don't know their names yet. So that
Okay.
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soon. They'll learn it quick enough.
Yes.
Well, yeah, so we are greening up my act. I'm Kat,
I'm Tiffany.
and we are here to try and get to the bottom of sustainability claims in fashion this season, which is
Yes. Season 9.
I know it's crazy.
That's wild. It makes me feel really old for some reason.
I know it's only been like 2.5 years, but it feels like
Yeah, I don't
yeah.
know why.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about fashion. 'Cause somehow we haven't. I think it's because I
We've-
pushed back against fashion because I hate fashion.
Well,
but-
I mean, I think because like we did some items on it, you know, but I think we didn't do like a
Yeah.
like we did talk about maybe doing a whole season on it, and I think this is just the perfect time to do it because it's
Yeah.
yeah, we're doing like product by product rather than like an entire industry at a time. So yeah, but yeah, this week we're talking about
and even if you hate fashion, unfortunately, it's part of life. So.
oh, it is, and it's really I
You
think
have
it's
to
really
wear
important.
clothes.
Yes, and I recognize that the word fashion doesn't just mean like the runway and like designers. It's like
Not like
every
high fashion.
aspect of how we clothe ourselves, and it's so much of consumerism. So like you do have to make a choice about like we did food, but you do have to make a choice about what you're wearing outside of the house. Is the cat like attacking you? What's going on?
Yeah, they're fighting each other on my lap.
They love fashion,
Yeah, they do. They're super pumped about Rent the Runway.
of course. Well, so that's what we're
But
talking
no,
about tonight.
you're right. Yeah, you have to make choices. So
Yeah, yeah. So, I only did a couple of sources tonight because my question got answered kind of quickly.
Okay.
So I have Rent the Runway's sustainability page.
Okay.
Vogue UK had an article. MIT has a sustainability lab that had an article, and then Mother Jones had an article that they had taken from
Oh.
from the Guardian, actually. So,
Okay.
and I will
I
caveat
like
this
Mother Jones.
by saying that when you Google the terms that I Google, a lot of the news that comes up is from like 2021.
Oh, okay.
So Rent the Runway had some like real bad business issues between COVID and now. And I think
That's what I
sustainability.
kind of thought. I feel like
Yeah.
I heard rumors, but
Yeah. which I didn't get into for this. So I'm just going to talk about
good.
kind of the science of why Rent the Runway may or may not be more sustainable as a clothing option.
Yeah.
So,
I like
okay. What is Rent the Runway? That is our first question. It is a clothing and accessory rental company founded in 2009. The original idea was basically to allow normies like you and me to rent high-end designer dresses for a fraction of the price. So you would rent the item for a set period of time and then return it. And then they clean it and they rent it to another girl. So it's basically like crowdsourcing a really expensive garment. So if you saw like Jennifer Lopez's dress on da-da-da-da and it's $10,000 and you could never afford it, but you know, if 10 of you rent it for, or if 100 of you rent it for $100 a piece, you know, then eventually it gets to the point where you can, ideally. Okay. So I had heard about Rent the Runway mostly for events. People were like, yeah, like a wedding, a gala, you know, you would rent a dress. So like back in my day, like in high school or college, if you had to go to prom or something and you couldn't afford the dress, you would buy the $250 dress for the one-off event from the department store, leave the tags on all night, and then return it on Monday, hoping you didn't sweat too much at prom or spill punch on it.
Yeah, I was like,
you know?
sweat, and the bottom is always haggard.
Yeah. Like, I just never bought a dress that was worth more than $50, basically, was kind of how I, you know. But that was, you know, if you coveted a dress, the perfect she's all that dress that you're only going to wear once, you leave the tags on and you try to return it. That was like, you know, so.
Yeah. Amazingly, I found my She's All That dress for $30.
That's fantastic.
For my senior prom. And it was such a good dress.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was such a good dress.
I bought a dress for, like $30 at Express, I think, for my senior prom. And I wore it until I was like 30. And
that's awesome.
Until it fell apart. Yeah. I just loved that dress. And it wasn't like, it was a shorter dress with spaghetti straps.
Okay.
And
mine was very much a prom dress.
Okay.
Yeah. It was like long, but it was like silky.
Oh, yeah.
And it was on major sale. I don't know how it was only $30, but
I love that.
Yeah, it was like turquoise blue. It was really pretty.
Yeah. Oh, see. Yeah. I love that. But okay, so a couple of years ago, a woman I knew said she used Rent the Runway for her office clothes, and she traveled a lot for work. So what she would do is have the items shipped to the hotel where she was going. Like if she was flying from Austin to New York, she'd have Rent the Runway ship her order to her hotel. And then after her week of work or whatever, she would just they send you in a bag and she would just repackage it and, you know, drop it off at the UPS or FedEx in the hotel. And so all she had to do was pack underwear and socks for her work trips and pajamas, basically.
It's kind of genius, but what if like half of it doesn't fit?
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna, I mean,
okay.
So I have been using Rent the Runway myself because I travel for work now a lot, and it's been about 2 or 3 years. I pay a monthly subscription fee. I get 5 items for a month. So like if there's an outfit that is a shirt, a top, and a bottom, that's 2 items out of my 5, right? I pick them out. They get shipped to me in a bag at the end of the month, which is my billing date when it renews. I put everything back in the bag. Take out, they have a pre-printed sticky return label. Take it out, slap it on the front, zip it up, and text, you know, make a thing in the app that the UPS should come pick it up. And usually when you do the swap, you're ordering your next run of items. So usually when UPS picks up the bag that you put on your porch, they're bringing you your next items. And it usually takes, if I order it before noon on Monday, it'll be here by Wednesday morning. So.
Wow, that's fast.
It's quick. Yeah. The thing for me is picking items is hard. So there's a lot of stuff on Rent the Runway and they're constantly getting new stuff. Ding, ding, ding. So you got to watch out for sizing, which is something you were talking about. So every women's clothing outlet in the universe has their own measuring system, apparently. That's just, there's no standard. Like, you be a size 8 at Old Navy is a size 12 at J. Crew or something, you know? And like with fashion designers, all bets are off. Even if you measure your waist in centimeters, there's no telling what the actual size is going to be. So you have to do the research. And because of their business issues that they've had in the past, it's not just high fashion, high ticket items that are available. Like brands that I would consider pretty accessible. I'm not saying that like they might be a little bit higher end, but like Madewell is something that like you can order online. There's a lot of Madewell.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
I just look at the retail price of things and I'm like, you know, this sells for $50, you know, in the store.
Right.
I mean, okay, yeah, maybe I wouldn't buy it and wear it more than once, but it's like, okay, well, if I'm going to rent something, you know, a lot of times when I travel, I'm going to a climate that I don't keep clothes for. Like, I don't really have winter clothes. So I'm like, okay, I need a cool sweater for my trip to New York or Chicago in the middle of February. But, like, you know, a Madewell sweatshirt, like, I don't know. It just feels kind of like a waste of a rental.
It's called Rent the Runway.
Yes.
So it's not rent the department store.
Exactly. So, they do have a concierge service. So I've done this a few times. I'm like, I'm going to the freaking Dominican Republic. Can you help me pick out? I just don't have the time to sit and go through everything. I like these colors. I wear this size, you know, they're like, what do you want to emphasize? And the problem is that you have to repeat yourself. Like they don't see in your notes. I'm like, could you just look at the things I said last time? Because it hasn't changed. Like I don't wear pastels. I don't love neutrals. I want jewel tones and like standard colors. I want like red or blue or, you know, navy blue, not like neon orange, whatever, you know, and I'd have a small bust, you know, like I have to repeat that all the time. And they're like, what do you like to emphasize? I'm like, my legs, my shoulders are fine. I guess. I don't know. Like, can you look at the last guy's notes? But they used to be really good about, they would get back to you like, yes, I've got 15 items in your liked. That's the other thing. You can heart things so you can save them for later. And then just, you can sort your hearts by, you know, whatever, and then pick your 5 items from that. So if you like to browse clothing shopping, that might be a way to do it. And there are filters, you know, you can use. It's really kind of unwieldy for me. I don't love it. And they don't have an app for Android, so just for iPhone. So that's kind of annoying. Okay.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. I actually have used it. I was also a member for a very short time.
Yeah.
When I worked in an office. I think it was only like 2 months.
Yeah.
I did kind of love it because I found a couple of things that I was just beyond obsessed with. Like I had 1 month with the coat of my dreams.
Yes.
And I was so devastated to have to send it back. And I should have just bought it.
I know that my thing is like if I keep something for more than a month, because you can keep stuff too. Like as part of your next subscription, you'll just get 4 items rather than 5, you know, in your slots. I'm like, man, if I rented that twice, maybe I should buy it. And then the second time I sent it back and then I was like, ooh, that would be perfect for this thing. So I rented it again and I was like, I actually don't love it as much as I did the first time. So,
right.
Buyer's remorse is less anyway. So that's how Rent the Runway works, basically. Okay. Next up, what eco-friendly claims do they make? So this is according to their sustainability page. They have 3 goals, major goals. Number 1, displace new production. So the idea here is that if people are renting their clothes instead of buying new ones, those new clothes don't ever need to be made. So ideally, we need to grow less cotton. We need to produce less raw polyester, etc. So according to the MIT Sustainable Supply Lab, every 5.5 days, the average U.S. consumer buys a new item of clothing, and 50% of that is disposed of within the first year. So that's something
every
to think about.
5 days?
5.5 days. The average U.S. consumer is buying a new piece of clothing. And then they throw it away.
I am not buying enough clothing.
Well, I'm not. Yeah, I don't buy. I don't. Yeah. So just that's a thing to consider. That means that there's new clothing being produced on that scale as well. And you have to think about things that don't get sold, right? They're producing enough so that every consumer in America can buy a new piece of clothing every 5 days, right? Okay. Their second goal is to minimize waste. Not only do you not throw the piece of clothing away when you're done with it, they also divert nearly 100% of unusable clothing from landfills. They don't say how they do that. I don't know if they recycle textiles or if by them selling it or something, because they have sales a lot. So I don't know. I don't know how they say that almost 100% of, again, unusable clothing you couldn't sell. I don't know. They didn't say where they recycle it or what they do with it. But they're also working to minimize the waste they use in shipping and their warehouse operations. So not just the clothing waste itself, but how their operations function. They're trying to minimize waste there. They're also trying to eliminate unnecessary plastic across the board. According to their website, their goal is to move to reusable, compostable, or 100% recyclable packaging by fiscal year 2023. So I wanted to point out it's 2025 when we record this, and they haven't updated the sustainability page since, I guess. I don't know. Their third goal is to offset carbon emissions, which is our favorite way of saying plant more trees. Okay. But they don't say plant more trees. Their goal is to have net zero emissions by 2040 by displacing the need for new production of 500,000 garments by 2026. Okay. They want to power their offices and warehouses with 100% renewable electricity, quantify their supply chain emissions, which I guess is the first step in controlling your emissions, is understanding what they actually are. So they're just going to count it, And they want to sustainably source 50% of key materials, so that's cotton, polyester, and linen, through exclusive design partnerships. So basically they're saying they will only work with designers or producers who have at least 50% of their materials be sustainably grown or
okay,
made.
Understood. Probably organic cotton, right?
Well, yeah, probably. I know, that's the thing. How do you quantify organic polyester?
Or sustainable, yeah.
Right. They didn't say they were just going to plant a bunch of trees, I guess. So, good team. But it is kind of that's a lot of green speak that sounds great, but it's like, okay, tell me how. And the sustainability page wasn't hugely built out. Again, the same thing that
I was wondering if they had numbers. I mean, obviously they haven't updated it.
And again, when you look, Google search is Rent the Runway better for the environment? The things that come up are not press releases about their sustainability efforts or anything like that. I didn't do a deep dive into have they hit these numbers? How are they hitting these numbers? Because most of the news about them is about their business operations, right? So they have other initiatives listed like diversity in their workforce, which we think is important, and supporting diversity in fashion overall. Because again, fashion is often a whitewashed skinny girl's playground and nobody else is allowed to play. So, but again, these are just blurbs on their website. It doesn't deep dive into how or, what they're actually doing. So the idea with Rent the Runway sounds really great. Like instead of buying a fast fashion item every 5 days that you're going to wear once and throw away, you just rent it for a month, wear it to the event or events you need it for, and then ship it back, right? You're removing the single-use aspect of fast fashion. You might wear this item once or twice, but over the whole life of the item, it's going to get worn a lot more, ideally. So again, we noticed that if you like something, you can keep it for another month and not ship it back, or you can buy it outright if you like it. So this is basically kind of replacing the order something, try it on, and return it. So it's taking the, when you return the item to Rent the Runway because it didn't fit right, they do give you one slot your first month. If something didn't fit, they will ship you another size. But after that, you've just got to do your research. But basically, you can try stuff on for a month and send it back, and it doesn't get thrown away, like with Amazon, right? Returned items are rarely, if ever, resold, and they generally end up in landfills.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. I saw something really, we should actually do that. Because I saw a really interesting dive and look into
the return. Amazon Returns, wasn't it?
NPR?
Yeah, we've talked about
it was on Amazon Returns. Was it NPR?
I think so.
Somebody. It was really interesting. Yeah, we should probably try
like The
that,
Life of a
or look into
Return
that
on
this
Amazon.
season. Yeah. Because it was actually less dire than I expected, but horrifying how much.
Still. Yeah.
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 Anyway.
So I had in my notes here that this is, I think, a good place to take a break. So.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Okay, welcome back. I was trying to rearrange. My hips are hurting. Stupid hips.
Oh, no.
Okay, well, so our next question in our format is this something a normal person can do or afford? Right? So there are a couple of considerations here. Time. So Rent the Runway is a big time sink. I said this earlier, but if you're someone who just mindlessly scrolls fashion sites looking for clothing and likes things, this could fulfill that urge very well. And then you limit yourself to 5 items a month, whatever. But if you're like me and you kind of don't know what you're looking for or what fits you, it's really overwhelming, Again, every clothing provider has a different sizing for women. If you see something you like, you need to look through the reviews to see if someone shaped like you, wore it, and looked good in it. It also might not be available in your size. So they tend to have everything in from extra small to extra large, which again, let's not get into that. I will, but they do have a pretty, you enter a lot of information about yourself, like what size do you normally wear at these stores, what's your weight, what's your bust size. So it usually can recommend good sizes for you based on that. But again, if you're like me and your size changes depending on where you are in your cycle, it's not going to know. So, okay.
Yeah.
So time is one of the biggest things that I just don't have for it. Again, that concierge thing can help. But if you're not looking for something very specific and full-time shopping, this might not be the right thing for you.
Does a concierge cost money?
No, it's free. Included in your subscription service, I think.
Oh, right.
So when I was looking at their website today, they didn't have an option where you could just rent one item for one off. It's all subscription based.
Really?
That's what I could see. And that I may not have.
It used to be like that.
I know. I think that's new.
Whoa.
So there are several tiers. Okay. And you can do one shipment a month and you can get 5 items from a limited closet, which means not the high end, like anything that has a retail value $350 or below. That's $109 a month. Or if you want to rent from anything with the retail cost of up to $3,000 and get 5 items a month, it's $129 for the month. So you pay $20 more to get access to those high design items.
Okay. You can get one at a time? Is that what you said?
No.
Or 5?
You have to get 5 at a time.
Okay.
So it's always 5 items. Okay. Then it goes up from there. 10 items is $164 a month, one shipment. So you get 10 items in one shipment. You can also add a slot in your shipment for more stuff. Like if you need a handbag that month or something, you could add a slot. You pay more on a case-by-case basis. And then they have higher numbers of shipments per month. So that's just one shipment a month. So for instance, with me, mine renews on the 29th. I send my stuff back on the 28th and I get my new, I can order my new stuff on the 29th, whatever. You can get 15 items a month with 3 shipments. So you get 5 items at a time, 3 times delivered to your house for $224. You can get 20 items in 4 shipments in a month for $198 a month. Or you could get 30 items, 5 at a time, 6 shipments in a month for $376 a month.
There aren't even 6 weeks.
I know. That's a shipment every 4.5 days, right? So,
oh my God. I don't go places.
I can't.
Who would need that?
I can't imagine.
Work for?
Even
if you're working, you don't need that many.
If your entire wardrobe was all rented, maybe I could see this. And you're doing a shirt and pants and a jacket. That's 3 slots out of 5. So maybe, I guess if you have no clothing
if you
of your
work
own.
somewhere where image really matters, but
yeah, Yeah. So that's what I said. If you work in a highly visible New York City office and you need a new suit or two every week, I could see maybe justifying 30 items a month. Or if you're a starlet who needs a new outfit every time you leave the house, right? But
yeah, but I feel like you would just have a stylist at that point.
yes,
But
and it's a lot of shipping and a lot of selecting. And you, if you're switching out that bag and putting the return label on every time, it's not hard, but it's like, that's like laundry work, you know? Like,
yeah, and don't you have to take it to the post office?
no, I get it clean. I get it picked up from my the
Oh,
UPS
okay.
guy who drops it off just picks it up. But
Gotcha,
you have to
gotcha.
schedule a pickup. And if you
Right.
I live in a city, so that might, I don't know if you live in the sticks. I don't know if in Albuquerque they have the same service. But I think if UPS goes to your house, UPS can pick it up. So
Yeah, that could be.
basically. You can also, there are other ways you can, like the expense can be a little bit different. You can refer people and get like either an extra spot in your regular shipment or a discount. I think I am allowed, with my subscription plan, I'm allowed to refer one person a month. And I think we both get like a discount for the month. So they also don't charge you to clean or repair items ever, which is kind of shockingly nice.
Wait, they don't charge you to repair them?
Like one time
So if
I had torn a dress, like one of the seams, and I was like, oh shoot. And I said, like, oh, by the way, I sent the dress back, but it's torn. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Was it torn when you got it? We're so sorry. I was like, no, I tore it, but they just repair it. So
whoa.
yeah.
Do they actually repair it though? Or
yeah.
do they just throw it away?
I don't know.
Maybe if it's repairable.
Yeah.
That's so interesting because I remember being like terrified that I was going to mess something up
I know.
back then.
Oh no.
How?
Did I tell you my TMI horror story about when I was bleeding nonstop?
I don't think so.
Ladies and gentlemen, so over the summer, and this is probably TMI, so I'm going to probably put, this is a content warning, it's gross, lady issues, women's issues. So if you don't like menstruation, please skip ahead. This summer, I bled for 65 days straight, extremely heavily, to the point that I couldn't leave the house, and I had to go to the emergency room. It was extremely painful. I was bleeding through my menstrual cup every 20 minutes. That's 2 ounces of
That
blood.
is insane.
So I went to the emergency room, and they gave me tranexamic acid, which is a clotting drug. And they're like, yeah, totally safe. So I took it, and the bleeding calmed down. I was still bleeding like a period, but I hadn't left the house in like 2 weeks. So I was like, okay. I had rented a dress from Rent the Runway because white dresses were in this summer. And I was like, I'm going to wear a white dress. Pretty. I'm going to walk around Montreal in my white dress. So I rented this white dress. I never got to wear it. And we were going out to dinner with some friends. And I was like, okay, I'm going to wear this white dress because it was really pretty, and I just wanted to look fashionable and cool. So we're going to this new restaurant. We're going out to dinner with some friends. I was wearing my cup and period undies, but I was like, I'll be fine because I haven't. We were sitting at the restaurant for 20 minutes. I bled through the cup, the period panties, and 3 layers of dress.
Oh my God.
And I stood up to go to the bathroom and saw it. I had a blood stain the size of a handprint, bright red, on the back of my dress.
Oh my God.
Texted Sean. I was like, I have to go home. Ran out of the restaurant, got an Uber home. When I was coming into the house, the Uber driver dropped me off, and we had a whole conversation about like, yeah, I have a fibroid. That's why I can't stop the bleeding. And as I was walking in the house, my neighbor across the street was pulling in the driveway, and he rolled down his window. He's like, hey, there's something on the back of your dress, like a leaf or something. And I was like, I know. I mean, it was noticeable from across the street. This is like
God.
every 6th grade girl's nightmare, right? I lived it.
That's what I was gonna
in
say.
a
It was
rented
like,
white dress. Yes. And I came home and I like scrubbed it in some water and sent it back. They said nothing. There is no way there wasn't a shadow of a stain on that dress, but nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Wow.
So
That's crazy.
you can bleed to death in their dresses and they will take it back.
You can get murdered.
You,
you
Jack the Ripper could tear you apart and they won't charge you a fee, okay?
That's
so
insane.
anyway,
Oh my God.
Yeah. So God bless you, Rent the Runway, for that, I guess. Also, you can pause your subscription easily. And so, like, I didn't travel at all this month. And so I didn't need extra clothes. And so I just paused my subscription. I didn't get charged. I just sent my stuff back. And then I will pick up again at the end of the month for January when I need new clothes. So they don't charge you for that. So, okay. There are other considerations for access to it. For instance, they only have women's clothing. Fashion is intrinsically bad for normal shaped women. So it can be very hard to find quote unquote plus sized items at all, like anything above an extra large. And it can be hard to find things that don't look good on somebody who's 5'10" and 125 pounds. So that's
Right.
fashion, and that's true of most shopping, and it sucks. And they might not have anything you like because they are always updating for the latest look or fad. Something to consider. So the things that are in the season tend to rent out quicker as well. People who are on Rent the Runway can be kind of cutthroat, like some people live by it. So our next question that we ask is, does the Earth-friendly message need to come back to Earth? Okay. And this is where my research into this goes. Yes, it does, unfortunately. So according to Mother Jones and a host of other research that I read, renting clothing was found to have the highest climate impact of all shopping options due to delivery and packaging.
What?
So the considerations are they have to dry clean every piece when it comes back in. Dry cleaning is real bad for the environment. There are green options out there, but especially at scale, those are going to be super expensive and you probably couldn't afford to do it. So if you owned the item yourself, you might, if you're wearing it for 2 hours, you might not dry clean it.
I certainly would not.
No, I used to, when I worked in an office where it was kind of high fashion and if I wore a suit, I dry cleaned it once a year, maybe.
That's what I was saying. I have a coat that I haven't dry cleaned in 2 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I have lots of coats that have never seen the dry cleaners. Unless something real bad happens, I'm sorry, I'm wearing layers. You're not getting sweat stains in that. And even if you do, nobody's sniffing my pits in a coat. Come on. So,
Yes.
but every item has to be dry cleaned when it comes back. So that's apparently really bad. Also, they do wrap every item, like after you get something dry cleaned, it comes back in plastic, right? So they have to wrap it in a single-use plastic bag. Now, if you have rid well, you can recycle that, right? But if you don't, that goes in the trash. It also costs CO2 and water to make plastic bags in the first place. So, also they ship things across the country. So then you ship it back, right? So if you just bought an item online, they ship it one way. Unless you return it, that's just one thing of shipping, right?
Oh,
if you go to the
yeah.
store and buy it, it's one car, So the MIT lab, Sustainable Supply Lab, did a really interesting breakdown with all these graphs. So they had like 6 modalities of shopping. So they had buying on site and wearing once. They had buying online and wearing once. They had subscription models for buying once. So like those boxes that you can get of new clothes that they ship you, like a subscription model. Stitch Fix, yeah. So wear once subscription. There's also apparently on-site, not just online for those. So there's like an in-person, like you can go to a store. I guess Target might have like a box they send you, I don't know. So they found that of all of those modalities, the subscription-based online rental model creates 7.993 kilograms of CO2 per consumer, compared to 5.5 kilograms for wear once from buying on site, 5.19 for buying online and wearing once, 7.5 for wearing once subscription on site, so from the store, or 7.195 for wear once online subscription. If you were taking notes there,
Wait, sorry.
the subscription model is the problem, right?
What?
So
Okay,
it's almost 8 kilograms of CO2 per consumer to have a subscription rental clothing service because of the plastic, the dry cleaning,
Okay.
the cleaning, package, and packaging and transportation. So when you look at this bar graph that MIT put together, you can see the full per consumer bar of how much, like how much is made up of manufacturing the piece of clothing, packaging the piece of clothing, right? So for the online rental subscription model, which is Rent the Runway, you have a smaller sliver of CO2 generated from manufacturing, right? Because it's not 5 pieces of clothing for 5 people. It's one piece of clothing that 5 people wear, right? But the packaging,
Right.
the cleaning, and the transportation are so much greater. That's why it's almost 2.5 more kilograms of CO2 per consumer per item to wear an item once when you rent it.
That's so shocking.
Right. So while I put this into words, I said, while online rental companies like Rent the Runway can reduce the amount of CO2 produced in manufacturing an item, because it's only manufactured once rather than 5 times, how much stuff gets thrown away, because if you wear an item once and throw it away rather than just returning it, and how much individual consumers produce for transportation, like driving to the store, those are all reduced. However, the numbers, the amount of CO2 that is produced in packaging, cleaning, and transportation outweigh all these gains.
That's insane.
They did have one caveat, though. They said, this is only for clothing you only wear once, right? Like
Yeah.
your everyday wear. Jeans, t-shirts, sweatshirts, right? The stuff you buy at Target, For special occasion wear, like that one fancy prom dress that you need for a wedding or something, or that jacket and pants you need for one super important business meeting, it actually makes much more sense if it's rented, because not as many items need to be cleaned. So if you're able to do a subscription for just one item that you're only, that's special occasion, it's worth it to rent it. That cuts down on the CO2 overall. So the reason Rent the Runway is not a really good sustainable choice is because of the subscription model. Because it's 5 items every month, or more. If you're doing 6 shipments a month,
I was going to say, you could have, 30 or more?
Yeah. That's just for the dry cleaning, that's just not sustainable. It's more than just ordering a haul from Target, basically.
Right. Wow.
So, and this, again, it comes down to, there's so many aspects of what sustainability means, right? Like keeping stuff out of landfills. Yes, Rent the Runway is better at that. However, transportation, shipping stuff, and the plastic wrap and stuff like that. They did say that they want to start using less plastic or recycled plastic or compostable plastic. Again, as we know, compostable plastic is not something that you can just get in Kentucky and throw in your backyard. If you have to have a commercial composting service in your neighborhood to be able to compost these compostable plastic bags. So again, it didn't look like they had addressed most of these concerns in the past year or two. So I don't know if they have, but there are other sustainability issues. It's not sustainable as a business model because of how circular renting works. So if you go rent a car from Hertz, right? They can rent that car out so many times and still at the end of its life cycle sell it for an amount of money that they could recoup their costs. They can rent it to you for a high price and sell it for a higher price so that it makes sense. Not so with clothing. clothing's resale value drops way more than a car's. And the more people wear it, the less resellable it is. They can't recoup those costs over time, really. Like,
which is funny because cars lose so much value.
They do.
When you drive them off the lot.
They do, but clothing loses even more, which is why so many people throw it away. Like, you can't sell your shirt at Goodwill that you wore once, you know, because there's so much out there. But also, designers might not want their clothing available discounted on your rental site because that devalues the brand. If it's not exclusive that only Jennifer Lawrence gets to wear this Gucci dress, or people who want to be like her, if you could rent it for $100, that devalues the dress, you know? So that's part of the reason why the quality available on their site has gone down so much. They have, like, I think Jason Wu, they have some designers, but a lot of it is pretty standard stuff you could get at your mall, you know?
Wow, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah. And I'm not a huge fashionista. I used to be a lot more interested in it, but I don't follow stuff. I look at trends so I can be like, okay, if I'm going to Boston this weekend, what should I wear? Because I don't know. But I'm not into designers. I don't know who brands are. But it does seem like the retail value of a lot of the stuff you can get on Rent the Runway is a lot lower than I would expect. It's not giving someone like me without a lot of scratch a lot of access to really high-end items, you know. So next is our granola rating. So this is, we rate everything from 1 to 5 granolas on how much green hooey the thing relies on. Like, how good are the claims? How feasible and realistic is it? The scale is 1 to 5. 1 is soggy, which is the worst. Mushy, chewy, crunchy, and break your tooth off. Because the crunchier the granola, the better. So I'm giving Rent the Runway. Of course. Oh yeah, I'm giving Rent the Runway a chewy. So there are some great ideas. That's a 3. Middle? Yeah, it's in the middle.
Okay, that's what I thought.
It needs to be implemented better. You know, basically Rent the Runway and other online rental programs sound great, and it has been great for me because I can't afford to buy these sweaters that I'm only, you know, I'm never gonna wear. In practice, they're just fueling that need to swap out your outfit all the time, which is what fast fashion is about, right? If you rented once in a while to supplement your closet, like when you needed to go to a wedding or a big event, it sounds great. Having a regular rotation of new clothing just isn't sustainable no matter how you do it at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's the takeaway.
And I think we're going to reiterate this over and over again. All of the research I found, it says the most environmentally friendly thing you can do for clothing: buy as few items as possible and wear them for as long as possible. That's it. After that, buying secondhand from a store is your best bet. And if you're going to rent an item, do it once in a while when you need something fancy, but only one item and not a subscription. So I feel like the way that I do Rent the Runway, the dry cleaning is interesting. I need to look more into if they're doing greener, because there are green dry cleaning options available. I do feel bad about that.
I wonder if they're actually green, or are they just like
quote unquote green? Yeah,
is it just green?
Maybe we should have an episode on dry cleaning,
right?
But for me, because I mean, let's be honest, me having to travel for work 3 times a month does more damage to the environment than probably my Rent the Runway subscription. So,
yeah, I mean, we're not here to shame anybody.
Right. So it's really helped me. I like and I do lend my friends trials, you know, from time to time. I'm not doing it every week. I'm only doing 5 items a month, and it's definitely for those trips, and I do wear them on those trips. So, you know, and I can recycle the plastic bags because I have Ridwell. And some of the items have been coming in less plastic, which is nice. Okay. So it's worth it for me right now. I don't know if that's going to be true in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, the annoying thing is, like, I like the idea of supplementing, you know, using it once in a blue moon, but it sounds like you can't really do that anymore, so that's kind of a pain.
Yeah. I don't think you can. How about this? Let's look right now. I'm going to look at Rent the Runway. Sorry for the typing. Let's see. Wait, let's see. Can you just rent one item? One dress. Apparently, I'm not the first person to ask this because it's the first thing that popped up. Yes, they do have one-time rentals. Okay.
Oh, okay.
You can rent for a 4 or 8 day period.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So you find the dress.
That would be kind of silly if they didn't let you.
You can book it up to 4 months in advance and then send it back. And it's okay. It's like the price is different depending on the item. So why would anyone? Okay, original retail is $395. This is not an event dress, and you can rent it for $50. But this is okay. An $880 dress, you can rent it for $115.
Okay. Yeah.
That's all the rest of the. Oh my god,
115 still feel well. Yeah, still feels high, but I'm cheap.
Yeah, I'm cheap too. And it's like, okay. Like this one's $35. It's a $98 dress. I probably would just buy the $98 dress. Right?
Right. Yeah, it's sort of like it's hard.
Like I could rent that again, couldn't I? But yeah, right. If it's an $880 dress, that's the thing. There aren't many. Like most of this stuff is, $250.
Yeah, back in the day, that's kind of what was fun about it. Is like you could wear clothes that you would never. Really
I could never afford this.
Which is kind of amazing that the designers are like, no, thank you. We don't want the peasants to wear our clothes.
Well, I think originally when they started, I think it was kind of like they did it out of their closet, and it was like not out of their closet, but like, all right, if we all go in on this dress and rent it, because that was another thing they talked about. If you just did that with your friends. Like, well, the problem is none of my friends are my size, but like,
yeah,
somebody came to your bedroom and borrowed your dress for $100, and that would be kind of how you paid it off over time. That actually is a more sustainable model than the subscription service. But anyway, so
yeah,
I think we're going to say this a lot this season, but mindfulness about your fashion. Consumer habits. Like, do you need a new outfit every week? Or can you buy that $30 prom dress and wear it for the rest of your life? Like I did.
Right. Yeah, that's amazing. I think I still have mine, but I haven't worn it. It's just so promy.
Tell your man friend that you want to go to a gala. Make him sit on the board of some expensive gala charity and go to the charity. Yeah.
There is actually, there's a conservation society near me who sent me like a, $50 ticket for some event or whatever.
Oh, nice.
I thought about going. I mean, I would have to pay, but I'm not saying they sent me a ticket. They sent me a thing to pay for a ticket.
Right.
But I know we would be the youngest ones there, which is fine.
That is I tell you what, if you're the youngest person in the room, you are in the right room.
Oh, that's true. You have said that before.
When I go to the Santa Fe Opera. It's no longer as true as it used to be, but oftentimes I am one of the younger people there. So.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. Meet some new friends that you wouldn't normally.
I like it.
Yeah. Hobnob with people who have a different perspective. They have much better taste in wine.
Yeah, this was like a wine thing, so I thought it would be tasty.
Yeah. They eat the best food.
Yeah, maybe next year when we actually have money.
Okay, all right. We all keep saying that. I'm like, next year when we're all eating turnips. Maybe next year. We can't afford electricity. I know. Oh, wait. Did you just make a joke? Because it's... Also, we're recording this the week before Christmas. So, 2 weeks before. No, week and a half before Christmas.
Yeah. No, it was... I won't have to pay for daycare next year.
Really?
So,
she's going to school.
Yeah, like kindergarten.
Oh, so you're really going to have more money.
Yeah.
Unless...
It's going to be insane.
Unless you both decide to just start new businesses and then you'll have no money again. But
yeah. Which we could. It might be happening.
Anything could happen.
Yeah.
Our entire economy could tank. Mm-hmm.
I could share that actually because I'm scared of AI. Actually, I'm really quite terrified. Like all of us are.
Yeah.
Because I do like writing stuff, like content stuff, which is like right on the chopping block.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to start not kind of. I want to, and I'm going to, because this is like official. I'm going to start a sustainable landscape design business.
Yeah.
So I'll keep
Be on the
everybody
lookout.
posted on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you could do it. Oh, maybe you could even do it for me. That could be.
I know. That's what I mean. I'm gonna start locally, but it could be virtual too.
Yeah. That'd be, and you owe me a visit, so you could kill two birds with one stone.
Yes. Oh
there.
my god, that'd be so fun. I could do a site survey.
You could be like, Kat, what is wrong with your yard?
Oh no. If I judged you, I would be the biggest hypocrite on earth. So.
Awesome.
But you have mud issues, right? Are you used to?
Yeah.
'Cause you can
Oh, we
solve
for
those.
sure have mud issues. So.
Oh, you can solve those. I don't know how yet, but I'm gonna learn.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
Sean doesn't like rocks, so.
Okay. I don't think it has to be rocks, but I have cats. Do you hear them?
A little bit. It's raining here, so I hear the rain.
Okay. They are
Having a good
little
time.
horsies.
Yep.
Running around.
I love it.
Stampeding around.
Awesome.
So yeah, we'll keep you guys posted on our adventures, our next plans for.
Yeah.
But starting a business is so friggin' hard, and it takes
It is.
so long, and I'm not
It is.
planning to quit my job anytime soon. So
Well, hopefully. Sometimes the things that make us jump are the unexpected things. So
no, you're right. I could get fired.
I hope not. I'm going to knock wood for you. There you go.
Thank you. Please,
But-
God.
Yeah. Next week, you're talking about Quince. Or
Yeah.
perhaps, is it Quince?
You know what's so funny? I've heard people, because Quince is like the thing on podcast ads. Like it's just all over YouTubers, podcasters, whatever. It's like everywhere.
Quince.
And one of my favorite podcasters pronounced it. It was a guy, so I don't know if that makes a difference, but he pronounced it Quince one week, and then the next week he didn't call himself out. I thought he would, but he's like Quince.
It would be fun to have like an advertiser and just call them a different name every time. But like, you're like, in
Right.
French, it'd be Quince.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Oh shoot, I wanted to order something from them, but I might not have time
For Christmas? Or
Yeah, well, I was just kind of like, I really want to test it, the quality. So
Well.
if we end up talking about something else, maybe that's why.
Okay. Because I have ordered from Quince. So
You have.
I
Then I don't have
have.
to.
Okay, then we'll switch out. What do you want to talk about next week? We can
Well,
figure it out.
maybe
next
you
week.
could. I could maybe do the research, and then you could.
Oh, sure.
Just
I can talk
give
about
your take on it.
Yeah, I could talk about the quality.
If you feel comfortable.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm just so curious, because it's like everybody raves about it, but these are people trying to sell it to me. So
Right. Yeah.
I'm just fascinated. And maybe I still will. They have like gloves or something that I need gloves. It's not like I'm.
Yeah, there's always
Anyway,
the
we'll see.
$50 cashmere, Mongolian cashmere shirt or whatever, yeah.
Right. It's always so funny. Cool.
Awesome.
Well, go head over to YouTube. Thank you for listening. I feel like a robot right now.
But yeah, watch us on YouTube. You can see Tiffany's cats. And like and subscribe there. And yeah, awesome. All right.
Yeah, and cool. We will talk to you soon.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for listening.
Good night.
Bye.